Hey, what's going on, Boston Silk Scarf fans, and welcome to our XBL Season 1 Week 2 matchup against Vivid and the South Texas Sableyes. Unfortunately, I could not do a live comm during this battle, so we are doing a post-comm today, but hopefully you guys will enjoy it nonetheless. Sometimes I actually prefer doing these, and this is my second one today because the first time I did the post-comm, my microphone came unplugged and I just was talking to nobody. So hopefully you guys go on to enjoy this post-commentary. We are coming off the heels of a loss to Mewtwo fan Nate, a 3-0 loss, unfortunately. So hopefully this week we can at least keep the differential down or maybe even recover it. Who knows? I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. So let's jump right into talking about the teams here. We got ourselves Kung Pao, Woofles, Sasha, P-Dog, number 13, and Huggin, I believe, is the name of my team. You can see them all right there. I got to call them by their nicknames. You guys might be thinking, hey, that looks a lot like your team from last week. Well, that's because it is 110% the exact same team as last week. I did not make a new team for this battle. I was going to, and then I was like, you know what? This team actually kind of works for this matchup, and I don't really have the time. So I ended up using the same team. Hopefully, it can put in some work. He's got himself a Heatran, Hitmontop, Aromatisse, or Aromatisse, however you say that one, Mega Gyarados, Latias, and his Shaman Sky. His team is scary. Last week, he actually 6-0 swept another team using his Mega Gyarados. So he is a scary opponent for sure. I go ahead, I lead with Kung Pao, the Blaziken, because there's just tons of things I could hit if I did that. I could hit his Heatran with the low kick, his Mega Gyarados with the low kick. I could hit him with the Flare Blitz with the Shaman, although that is a little bit scarier because if he outspeeds, which he would have, to be honest, because I'm not Scarfed. But anyways, there was a lot of things I could hit as Aromatisse as well with the Flare Blitz. So I decided to just go for that, that lead, as he does, I believe, lead with his Heatran. Unfortunately, no Boston Silk Scarf shirt today. It is in the laundry because I had this battle yesterday and I spilled some dinner on it because I made dinner right after the battle. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. So anyways, it is being cleaned currently. Well, actually, it is clean, but I just don't have it. It's in my girlfriend's car. Anyways, he does lead with his Heatran as we lead with Kung Pao, the Blaziken. And I'm going to go ahead and just go for a low kick because I know if he stayed in, low kick would have destroyed him. And, you know, pretty much anything that happens, you know, low kick, it was a pretty decent idea. But unfortunately, it does bring his Gyarados. He gets to Intimidate off as we go for the low kick. It doesn't really do too much, but it doesn't do bad damage either. I'm going to go ahead and switch out because Gyarados is kind of scary. As I believe he does switch out as well, which is pretty cool. It means that was just a free switch, and I think is what ends up happening here. Let me double check that. Yeah, he does end up switching out. He switches out and into his Hitmontop, if I am not mistaken, which ends up being such a pain in our butts this battle, as you're about to find out. His fake outs do so much damage. Hitmontop is my favorite top, or my Hitmon for sure. Hitmontop is amazing. So he does flinch us with Fake Out, obviously. It does a lot of damage. He has Life Orb, we see. And I unfortunately stay in and don't think about Sucker Punch, which obviously Sucker Punch, right, guys? Huggin goes down, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a loss for sure. We just lost, like, the biggest, like, a huge Mon for us for sure. So that sucked. Anyways, I do decide to bring in Sasha so I can at least set up some Stealth Rocks, which is what I decided to do this turn, as he does bring in his Shaman Sky. So here comes the Stealth Rocks. I switch out because Sasha ain't taking none of those hits. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to switch out into, I believe, Porygon 2. I might have said Porygon Z earlier. I do apologize if I said that. But P-Dog comes in, the Porygon 2, holding an Eviolite this week. Actually, same item as last week, of course, because it's the exact same team as he goes for an Air Slash, which does do a pretty good amount of damage because he does get a crit, which sucks. Because Air Slash wouldn't have done nearly that much damage if it wasn't for that crit. But as you'll see later, we both do end up getting some crits, so I feel like the hacks this game kind of balanced out. But he brings his Heatran as I went for Ice Beam. I was hoping that he'd stay in, hoping to get maybe some Air Slash flinches on us or something. Fortunately, he just switches in, plays the safe, smart move, in my opinion. But we play the safe, smart move as we stay in with Porygon because I didn't feel it was too important at the time, as he goes for his Tectonic Rage, which is his Z team. So in this league, by the way, I forgot to mention this. In this league, you can actually draft a Z Crystal. That's how they work in this league. So he drafted the Tectonic Rage, or the Groundium Z, or whatever it's called. So he has Tectonic Rage on his Heatran, and we do manage to live it with P-Dog, which is amazing as I go for the recover, just in case we did live, which we ended up living. Fan-freaking-tastic. We go ahead and get tons of that HP left. back up, and I'm kind of stupidly staying here because I'm thinking I can take some hits. I can take a Lava Plume or whatever. He does end up, though, going for Magma Storm, which I didn't expect him to have, which does trap you in the field. So, unfortunately, we're going to go through a few turns of kind of stalling out the battle because I don't want P-Dog to go down if he doesn't have to. So I'm just going to keep recovering while we're trapped in the storm, hoping to live these Heatran moves for a little while. Goes on for probably like 4 or 5 turns. So at least you guys didn't have to watch that in a live comm. That would have been pretty boring. And he's just kind of trying some different moves, seeing what does the most damage. That was actually not as much damage as I think he goes like doing a Magma Storm. So we can actually go for another recover and get more HP than before. So I feel pretty happy about that one. And I'm right now just kind of waiting for the opportunity to strike or switch out or whatever I can do. Now, I do have a question for you commenters down below. Does Magma Storm reset? I don't believe it does, judging on this battle. But does Magma Storm reset the trap every time you use it? Or do you have to wait for it to fade first to reuse it and then it traps you again? I think it's that second one I just said. But let me know if I'm wrong down below. I would love to know because that is helpful information. He does set up his Stealth Rocks this turn, which is kind of a win-loss for me, because that means that I can now get to full recovery HP, but it also means there's rocks on my side of the field, which means switching is going to be even harder, and we're already under a lot of pressure after losing such a strong Mon Latios so early into the game. And he's going to go ahead and go for another Magma Storm, and I believe that this turn is the turn where I went for a foul play, just to get some damage off, because I thought, hey, you know what, I'm just going to give it a try, which was fantastic, because it ended up being a crit, so those crits kind of balanced out right there, and bringing him down to about 50% health, which is really, really helpful, especially since Sasha comes in now, and gets obliterated. Sasha really did nothing, besides get Stealth Rocks up. But it's nice. It's okay. We got the Stealth Rocks up, which actually does put some pressure on him as well. We do live, but then we died to the trap, so it sucks. But hey, Sasha, man, I feel bad. I thought Sasha could take that a lot better. That was a miscalculation on my part. We're looking pretty bad now. He's got 2 on us, 2-0 here, 2 kills on us. We got nothing on him. But I do bring in Kung Pao because now I know I can go for a low kick again and really hurt something. So I do just go for a low kick. He brings in his Aromatizzy, which we barely even touch with a low kick, because what's a low kick going to do to Aromatize or Tissy or whatever it is? Aroma Tissue. I don't know. But yeah, pretty much he just leftovers recovers whatever we did to him. We do get off our speed boost, and this is where I play what I consider to be the smartest move of the game by Baton Pass, as he goes for Protect. So he wastes his Protect that turn. We go for a Baton Pass. It's actually pretty smart. I go into Doublade. Now, we don't really need like speed on our Doublade really to outspeed anything. I mean, maybe to outspeed Aromatizzy is the only thing we're outspeeding, but I do get in Doublade for free, which is pretty sweet. And this is where we go for the Swords Dance, because he's going to want to preserve his Aromatizzy. So, or Aromatize, I don't know, guys. What is it? Aromatizzy, Aromatize? I don't know. But he brings in his Heatran. I go for a Swords Dance. That gets us to a +2, which is fantastic. And this is where we can start to turn things around and hopefully work something out here, because right now it's not looking very good for us. We do go for the Shadow Sneak, and I'm begging, please, oh please, just kill this Heatran. It does. It takes the Heatran right down. Fan-freaking-tastic. And he's going to bring in his Gyarados now, which he has the Mega Stone. So it's going to be a Mega Gyarados. It takes tons of damage from the rocks, which is fantastic, because as you can see, that's really important. After that Intimidate, we're only at +1 attack. He's going to go Mega Evolve and go for a Crunch, which is super effective. Rather unfortunate. We'll see what happens, whether we live or not. I don't want to spoil it. I really don't. I just don't want to spoil it. What happens? What happens? He goes for a Crunch, and it does a good chunk, but we are living that nice and fine with our Eviolite as we go for our Sacred Sword and take down this Gyarados. So pretty much we are resetting the field. It's a pretty even game at this point. I would say he still has a slight advantage, but we do have a Doublade with +1 on the field, which is nice. Shaman's going to take that rocks damage. Getting those rocks up really did help this battle quite a bit, as we're just going to stay and go for the Shadow Sneak. I thought about that one for a long time. I was like, is there something I can switch into? But I felt like anything that I did could have been potentially the worst situation. So I decided to stay in. He does take us down with the Earth Power. It sucks. Number 13. Put in so much work. Doublade for all those swordsmen out there. All those swordsmen. So I do bring in Woofles, and I just go for a Moonblast. I'm hoping that I can just, he stays in, we can kill this thing, but he goes for a Synthesis, which now we're going to have to spend a little bit more time trying to kill this thing. I go for the Moonblast. Hoping for like a special D drop or something. Does Moonblast do that? I don't even know. But we bring him down to pretty much what he was at just a second ago. What happened? Does he go for an Air Slash? I think he ends up going for an Air Slash, hoping to get a Paraflinch. Now, later on after the game, he told me that this is definitely a mistake on his part. He was just kind of hoping for a Paraflinch, which I get. That happens to us all. We all do that from time to time. Fortunately, he did not get the Paraflinch, or the, not Paraflinch, but the Air Slash flinch. So we managed to take him out with a Moonblast. Woofles is on the rise. So he brings out Hitmontop. And I stupidly didn't go for Protect this turn. We had Protect on Woofles. We saw the Fake Out already. We should have known he was going to go for it. He goes for it. It does a massive amount of damage. Hitmontop with those Fake Outs, dude. I'm telling you, that's some crazy damage. So, you know, that brought us down pretty good. But we got our Leftovers recovery. We're at like a little bit over half or half HP or something. He's going to go ahead, switch out, bring in Aromatisse as we go for a Moonblast. Now, we do get really, really lucky right here with our Moonblast. We do score a crit, which definitely was a very important point in this battle, getting this crit. Definitely an important crit right there, because otherwise we would have went back and forth for a really long time. I don't know if he had Synthesize or anything like that on his Aromatisse, but I had Synthesize and Protect. He might have as well. I have no idea. But we go for another Moonblast. We outspeed, and we're going to manage to take him out with another crit. I don't know if the second crit mattered or not. It might have, it might not have. But we do manage to take him out. Judging on the first crit, I don't know if we would have needed a crit, but I don't know. I didn't calc it. So now he brings out his Latios. It's looking really good for us, but you never know what could happen. Of course, we're just going to stand with Woofles and go for a Moonblast again, because what else would we do? You know what I mean? So we go for the Moonblast, so he goes for a Psychic. We do still have Synthesis in our pocket, which is great. He eats that Moonblast up, which is amazing. It's a fat dragon right there. That's a mighty fat dragon. And Woofles is going to seal the deal on this Latios with a Moonblast right now. Goes for Psychic. As we saw, not going to kill. It's looking pretty good for the Boston Steel Scarfs right now. Anything can happen, though, in Pokemon. So let's see how this game finishes. His final mon is the Hitmontop. Come on, Hitmontop. Show yourself. Show yourself. There he is. And this turn, I have learned from my mistakes. And I go for the Protect on his Fake Out. You know, because finally I smartened up a little bit. We protect ourselves as he goes for the Fake Out. So we get back a little bit more of that Leftovers recovery. And now we can go for that Moonblast. He goes for a Mach Punch, just get that damage in. Maybe he could score a crit. Maybe he could kill us. Unfortunately for him, he does not. And we go for a Moonblast, and we seal the deal of this game. Freaking fantastic. Your Boston Steel Scarfs are now 1-1 with a 0 differential. So we've made up for last battle's loss. I think we still made a lot of mistakes, still definitely rusty, but definitely improvement from last week. I hope you guys did go on to enjoy this battle. If you guys want to check out any of the coaches, including Vivid, look in the description down below. There's a list of all the coaches and their teams and channels, etc. So I hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you did, don't forget, shield bash that like button down below. Your Boston Steel Scarfs are now 1-1. Hopefully score another victory next week. Hope to see you all then. Till then, stay frosty and peace out.